Hi developers, this is Hosam Dillai, Microsoft MVP. In this video we'll learn how to develop iOS applications using Xamarin. Here we'll learn how to use the storyboard to edit some UI properties, like here the color of the text, the background of a certain UI element, and the font size. So to get started, I'll use Xamarin Studio, go and create new solution, and choose App under iOS Node, and choose the template single view app. Click Next, and give our application a name. Here I call it Xamarin app. Then hit next and create the solution. Once it's created, we go to the main.storyboard, here where it will give us the overview of how our application will look like when it's running on the iPhone or on the simulator. Here I want to get a preview for the application inside an iPhone 6. For that I change this value to iPhone 6. Now we can start adding some UI elements. So let's add, for example, a text field. Let's make it larger. With the text field, I'll go and add a button. So I can find these UI elements inside the toolbox here. Let's add that button. Let's make it have the same width as for the text, and also add a label with the same width as the two previous elements. Now let's change how these elements looks like. So let's start with the text field here, and we can change these UI elements from the properties window, which is here inside this window. So select widget, and with the name I can change some other properties. So let's change, for example, the default value for the text here. Instead of showing the text property, let's show another value. Let's say Xamarin.iOS, for example. Here also you can change the color for that text. Here I have a large set of values I can choose from. So let's choose the blue, for example. And you see here our text is now displayed in blue. We can also change the font type and the font size for that text by selecting the T icon here. And you see here we can change this value. So let's make our text bigger. Let's choose the value 13. Now you see our text is displayed in larger fonts. Let's now move to the button. So for that I go and select the button and go again to my properties window, and here with the button I'll change the default displayed text here. So instead of showing button, I say show hello world, or say hello inside that button. With that I want to change the font and the font size. So change the font size, I select the value again and use 30. Good. So now our the text inside the button is in larger font size. To the button also we can change the color of that text. So with the text color here, so instead of using the default blue color, I'll use another color. Let's say I want it to be white. And also we can change the background color for that text or for that button, and that's done by the property background right here. Let's choose some background. Let's choose purple, for example, and here it is now our text. So now let's try to change the radius of that button. So I'll go to the widget and here look for a property called radius value. So here it is, radius or corner radius. Let's choose the value 20, for example. And now you see our button have this radius. Now, the text inside the button is almost at the top of the button. So I want to make some margins between the text and the top and the bottom of this button. So to edit that, I go here to the layout. Inside the properties window, go to the layout. And here you see I can change the width and the height of that button. So let's change it to be 50, for example, and you see now our button have a larger height. Great. Now let's move to the label, to the widget, and change the color and font size of that label. So again, we use that same font property, and here we use the same font size property. Let's make it 30, and also we can change its color by setting the values from here. So now let's run our application. For that, here I go and select iPhone 6, for example. Then let's run the app and see it in the simulator. So here you see our application have the text field and the button, but they are not displayed properly. So a quick fix for that is to go back to Xamarin Studio and click outside the designer here, and then we'll get this window for the storyboard document. Here we go and uncheck the use size classes. So uncheck this value, and now we get this window for disabling the size classes. Let's disable, and then let's run again our application. And here it is now. The elements are displayed correctly with the values that we specified for the colors, the background color, and the font size of each element. So thank you.